This program is brought to you by UCKG.
It's happening in every neighborhood.
Open the door! Who is it? Huh? This is why you really want to leave me. No, I didn't.
Down every street. Sickness, addiction, and violence has been turning countless homes into crime scenes. Suffering, depressed, alone, suicidal.
Depression for me is when you don't feel like doing anything, when you don't want to be alone, want to be with someone. Otherwise, when you're alone, you feel sad. You don't want to get up in the mornings. You don't feel like doing anything. You kind of just want to lay around everywhere. That's what depression is to me. What made me depressed was when I lost my mom. I lost my mom due to cancer when I was 18. Everything, I just felt like I was at the bottom, at the very bottom of what I could possibly get because she was who I depended on. I felt empty, I felt sad. I just felt like the world was ending for me. What made me depressed was when I lost my mom. I lost my mom due to cancer when I was 18. Everything, I just felt like I was at the bottom, at the very bottom of what I could possibly get because she was who I depended on. I felt empty, I felt sad. I just felt like the world was ending for me. I honestly didn't think I would ever feel better from that. I used to cry myself to sleep all the time when I was going through that. All I wanted to do was sleep, and because I had this void, I attempted to fill the void through a marriage. I got married very young, just a year later after my mom passed away, and that only brought on more problems. We used to fight all the time. It wasn't just verbally. A lot of the times it was physical. It got to the point where when we used to live at our apartment complex, several times, not just once, the police would show up thinking there was abuse going on because of how loud the bangs were, the screaming, and the neighbors would report it. So that wasn't just once, it was several times. After we had a fight, all I would do was cry. I didn't know what there was to do. All I knew, my only method was to cry and to wait for Thursday night to come around when the clubs were open, and I would go to clubs, I would drink. It wasn't just one or two, it was 4, 5, 6, whatever it took at the time so that I would feel better. I would drink anything they would give me to drink, really. And then I would start doing that from Thursday. I would do that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday would come around and I would have to wait all over again until Thursday came around so that I could start doing that all over again. But the fights never ended. I ended up losing my job. I then eventually had another job, and then I lost that job as well, and due to that, losing that job, I ended up having more problems in my marriage for financial reasons. So I felt worthless. I felt like I couldn't do anything right. I felt sad. The depression was just getting worse and worse. I always was known as a happy person. People used to always tell me all the time that I must have a really good life because I was always smiling. I was always kind of masking what I really felt, and I didn't like for people to ask me what I was going through because I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to talk about what I was going through to anybody. I just wanted to keep that to myself and just cry, really, because I didn't feel like anybody had the answer for me. The first day that I came to the Universal Church, it was on a Friday. It was the day of liberation. So the pastor actually came up to me during the liberation prayer, and he prayed for me, and every single thing he prayed for was exactly what I was feeling. So I remember I just cried and cried and cried a lot. That was like my moment of venting at that point. I mean, it was just a cry that I couldn't stop, because he knew, it's as if he knew what I was going through. On the first day that I came to the church, I felt peace. I felt light. I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulder. I began going Mondays to seek for my financial life, Wednesdays to seek for myself, because I really needed to take that depression out. I started going Fridays so that I could get liberated from all the problems I was having, and then I would go Sundays, just pray for everything that was going on in my life, and I began doing that for several months. I overcame depression little by little. I just kept coming to church. I was seeking of God more, and everything started getting better. I was feeling peace inside of me. Now I'm actually a physical therapist. I have a career. Everything just started going up from there. I didn't have a house at the time. I always lived with family members, and now I have my own house. I drive a Mercedes. Everything has just gotten so much better. Regardless, of the trials and tribulations that I face every day, I'm always happy, I'm always at peace, because I know where God took me out from. I know that He's always there to help me overcome the problems, and I'm always happy.
Welcome to your program. May God bless all of you. A very good evening. Today we start already our program with this wonderful story of this person that overcame depression. That is one of the biggest problems that the society is facing. I don't know if you pay attention of the story, if you have the chance to see the story from the beginning, but if you see the difference of this person when the person was attacked with this spiritual problem, and after the person received the power of God. You know that when the power of God comes upon people's lives, there is a completely difference between the before and the after. I'm not saying to you that you should not go to the doctors, or you should not take care of yourself, or you should not seek for professional people. No, I'm not saying that, because in the Universal Church, we always advise the person to go to the doctors, because we believe that doctors are people that are created by God. But what I'm telling you is that there are things that are impossible. And the power of God comes in these moments, my dear friend, when the things are impossible. For example, to be cured, to receive your cure for depression is something impossible. You can take medication, you can do certain things, but the thing is that many times you get better, but suddenly you get worse. You are better today, but you don't know about tomorrow. But when the power of God comes upon people's lives, there is a totally transformation forever. This person that you saw, the testimony, is already healed for many years and will be healed forever, because the power of God is not for a period of time. He brings the power of God totally and completely. And the same way that the life of this person changed, your life can change as well. If you want to know more about the Universal Church, you have a website below your screen. Also, if you'd like to contact us through our messenger or on Facebook, YouTube, or through our line number, WhatsApp number, you have all the details below of your screen. Let's continue watching stories of people who overcome different problems, that they receive the power of God, and we'll be back with you straight after.
I have seen many changes in my life since I've been to the church, and I am happy to really glorify God, because gradually I have seen Him changing my life, changing my family, and just to give a follow-up, I've given many testimonies regarding my daughter. She actually came 2015 with a scholarship after I have been fighting for her to come here more than 12 years, and God has opened the door for her to be here. Well, when she came, there was a big hurdle to pay the fee, even though it was scholarship, but it was still a lot. I didn't know where I was going to get that money from, but God provided. Not only that, she was able to graduate it. That was in January. I proudly go and graduate her as a mom. But the good thing is as well, because after she finished that, because of the immigration rules here, many people are saying, oh, is she going to go back, this, that? But no, it was surprising what God has done, because even she has to renew, because she got the visa to come here, but of course it wasn't permanent visa, isn't it? So then again, there was another hurdle, and this was the hurdle now to get the money to apply for this, and God has provided that. My mom is here. She took my sisters, and I was the last one to came. So when I came, things wasn't, the best. And so she was complaining about financial problem, and then I came into it. So I don't know, for some reason I came, crying, crying. And then, because someone has given me the opportunity, and I grabbed that opportunity because she was telling me how her life has changed. And that was actually 2 weeks after I came into the country. So yeah, 2 weeks, and I give God the glory, because many people really don't have this opportunity. But it was good for me that at the very beginning of being in the country, I could find somewhere that I could establish my faith, and this was very important for me. So intelligent faith is all about obedience, sincerity, and honesty. Your faith is telling you that God is going to bless you, however long it will take or whatever will happen, it's going to work. But if you're going to do it out of emotion, that's not intelligent. But definitely obedience, be faithful. Have a personal relationship with God. Don't depend on other. Have your own relationship with God. Be honest with Him. If you're, whatever you're going through, whatever the situation is, be honest to Him. Be sincere. Pour out your heart to Him. And God is merciful. He's gracious, and He's loving, and He wants to see us honest and sincere. We are not perfect, but this is it. So, yeah, I believe that's intelligent faith.
Every day, our human bodies need cleaning. However, there is another body that also needs cleaning, the spiritual one. For this is where curses, plagues, envy, and so many other evils are inhabited. Only when there is a washing away of all spiritual impurities is it possible to then truly have a fulfilling life. If you need to get rid of all the impurity and negative energy in your life, prepare for the novena of the bath with the blessed water from Israel. For 9 Fridays, we shall give you water that has been blessed at 9 holy sites in Israel. This is so that you might be totally and completely delivered.
If you want our help, tomorrow, Friday, is the day that we fight against spiritual problems. And if you are here tired of suffering, if you are suffering with insomnia, depression, anxiety, you give one step forward, two behind, you are victim of bad luck, you are victim of a witchcraft, you are victim of an evil force, a negative spirit. Sometimes you give one step forward, two behind, you don't know what to do with your life. So we're going to be here ready to help us. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. The address is there below your screen. Birger Jarlsgatan, 106. We are very close to the t-bana Tekniska, also 5 minutes away from Modern Plan. You are our guest to join us at 7 p.m. That is our main service. But if you cannot attend that service, we have a morning service at 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay? Give your step of faith, and surely that your life will change. If you come with faith, I tell you surely that your life will change. If you live in Göteborg or nearby borders or cities surrounding Göteborg, Sunday 11 o'clock in the morning also we have this powerful service there. Our address is Ringögatan 13 Infart 7. We are near to Bacaplan. Give your step of faith and surely that something new will take place. It was a pleasure to be with you. Until next time, may God bless you.
I'm not leaving this hospital until I know what's wrong with my daughter.
If you want out, that's fine with me!
This program is brought to you by UCKG.